Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Give me lots of popcorn and some time that I can spend to watch some stories with my friends.
We're doing Queens.
Yes.
This week we'll be talking
Can't say
about
queen without saying yes.
Yas.
It's law.
Yeah.
This
It
was
is law.
chosen by
Jeff.
Jeff L, right?
I believe it's Jeffel.
Jeff,
One of our patrons.
Oh,
shit.
Good choice,
Why didn't you
Jeffel.
say that? And I didn't say what the movie is yet, but it's The Final Girls, plural. There were two that came out about the same time with similar titles. This is the one
that also starred
Similar actors.
This one stars little sister Thaisa Farmiga, and among many other great actors, like across the board cast.
Thomas Middleditch.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Alia
Alia
Shawkat.
Shawkat.
Adam Devine.
Adam
The
Devine.
Final Girls was wonderful. What we'll talk about.
Yeah,
Truly
real
was.
fun.
Later. But so, because it's about Scream Queens. I mean,
Yeah.
that is that's it.
That's
all
the prompt.
it's about.
Yeah.
The prompt was just Queens, right? It could have been
be
anything.
Queens.
He pulled this out because the
Scream
mom
queen.
in this movie is a Scream Queen. Mm-hmm. I love this movie. This is the second time I've seen it. But Amy watched The Cellar for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette. Mm-hmm.
Is that about an eBay involved murder?
Yes. It is not.
Their rating is going to go down.
They're verified for evil.
I was going to come up with something there, but I couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have that all the time.
They're a super host to Satan. How's that?
That's
I like
good.
that, yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the validation. I needed it.
So we have the privilege always of reflecting back on these old recordings of ourselves for Origins, which is old episodes of the show with new commentary. We just put out 194 from August 2010. It was really fun. But also I want to just acknowledge on the main show that Patrick Walsh's Scream Queens with a Z, speaking of Scream Queens, just celebrated 12 years. And on this old episode was when he first started it. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
man. That's a
Yeah.
long ass time.
Yeah.
And we've known him longer than that.
Yeah. That's
Just as long as the
long
show
time.
almost.
He was one of the first people that contacted us when we were doing this.
Sweet boy.
Love him to death.
Mm-hmm.
And patreon.com/NOTLP. That keeps us
We just
alive.
put a Topicana out where I asked these boys
Mm-hmm. We just listened to it. It was delightful.
about what would be your own personal wonder of the world.
Oh, no, we haven't listened to that one. Sorry, we listened two ago.
You're a real piece of shit.
Well,
So I can tease mine if you want.
Oh, yeah, this week it's Freddy's choice.
Mine is going to be
Give us the Topicana question.
going to be pretty spooky.
Oh.
I want you to tell me about your scariest nightmare.
Oh, my scariest nightmare?
Or scariest dream or weirdest dream even.
Haven't we
That's gonna
done
be,
this?
I don't remember things like that.
I don't believe we have.
I know I
Have
talked
we?
about my zombie dream
And
where
I talked
died.
about my Superman dream.
Oh shit. Did we already do this?
I think
we
maybe.
have.
Oh my god, after the break when Amy's done with roulette, I'm going to give you a new question.
All right.
Okay.
Whoopsie daisy.
Here's a question.
I'll strike it through on the
He
list.
used to be like, tell me what you think are the great wonders right now.
But not like the ancient world, but like now.
Like right now. It perhaps could be a cave
RN.
made of chocolate.
It could
with
be.
a scoop of salt. Listener.
The salt and the chocolate meat. It's mystical.
Oh, I got one.
Okay, hold on real quick.
It's controversial.
Listener, that you'll know more about the seam that you lick.
Yeah.
The chocolate and the
Chefs pay
salt.
extra attention.
Yeah, it's
Not all
on
the
the latest
seams.
Topicana. Kelley is a interesting man.
I am an interesting man.
He sounded like a judge on like a
The
cooking
most
show
interesting man in the world.
when you describe your thing.
All right, what's your
I'm
new
sorry,
quiz?
you've been chopped. Here's my new one, and this one might be awkward, but I think it'll be a good one.
Oh.
What was the most satisfying time you caught someone lying? So think about
Did
it.
we do this one too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. Oh, Lord.
I have shied away from this one because I was worried that it might get personal.
Well, you can't talk about me.
But
I won't talk about you.
Do you lie a lot?
all the time?
I love the way she lies.
Is your name Amy?
I'm trying to think if I've ever busted somebody in a lie.
Yeah, I can't really think of.
It could be. Do I need to come up with a damn third question after the break?
I don't think I've ever called anybody out on lying before. Like I've caught them in.
Well, you don't have to have called them out. You just have to know
just
they were
know
lying,
that they're lying, okay.
and you are satisfied
Okay.
that they were lying. You were satisfied that you're like, oh, that tells me.
Oh, all right. I can probably think.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
know. There's,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be calling them out.
Okay.
When
Thank you for narrowing the parameters.
When I say catching them lying, I mean they're lying.
Yeah,
you don't necessarily have to tell them that you know.
You don't need it like an aha moment.
Right.
There's no
Yeah.
accusation necessary.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to keep mine out of my recent
It's not like
past
a
if I
few
can
good
help
men
it.
or anything. You can't handle the truth.
It's going to be exactly like that, actually. It's going to be that scene for me.
It's like I was a lawyer putting Jack Nicholson on trial.
And who ordered the code red?
I meant Mountain Dew. I did not mean for that to happen.
You made a soda joke.
I did.
I'm a soda jerk.
So yeah, I need to tell you guys a couple of things.
Okay.
One, we watched the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie that just came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It is good.
I've heard
Jason
nothing but
Cretton's
good things about
recommendation.
it.
Yeah.
It's got a great cast.
I did like the 2D animation look that they had going for Dale, I guess, or Chip, whichever the.
Did you
Indiana
notice they
Jones one
blend
is.
them?
Well, that's what I noticed in the trailer. I've only seen the trailer, but like I was like, oh, one is 3D and one is 2D, and I figure that somehow is part of the plot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of awesome what
Yeah,
they did.
It's like a multiverse thing.
It's very meta, right?
It feels like what they did was they made a new Roger Rabbit movie.
That's
but
what,
made it much more grown up.
That's what someone, one of my
Roger Rabbit
boys
was pretty
said.
grown up already.
This is like a more contemporary Roger Rabbit.
There's Wang. They're hanging dong in it, guys. I'm telling you, Hollywood is just
Hot for Wang.
hot for Wang.
It's like some of the best
latest
minds in
trend.
comedy worked on this.
Yeah.
People who are of a certain age that grew up
don't-
watching the show.
Is it
Blow it up too much.
I'm not saying it's perfect.
Oh my god!
But I'm saying it brought me an enormous amount of joy.
It's the Lonely Island guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rescue Rangers.
When there's danger.
The other thing that brought me a lot of joy was Bear. I always call him Bear Joe. Bear Joe recommended a movie called Dash Cam, and apparently there's more than one out there. This is the Blumhouse Dash Cam, and bought it sight unseen on
Cash
his
cab?
recommendation. So great.
Bear Joe, I 100% yelled at him.
That was a good joke.
Why the
Kelley.
fuck did you just buy
Thank
this
you.
movie? We haven't
That
even
shouldn't
seen
have
it yet.
gone unnoticed.
Thank you.
But anyway,
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. There was something going on the sideline.
Everything's fine.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I'm so sorry.
It was an ad lib. I went off book.
so the movie Dash Cam was very, very good.
All right.
It's a thrill ride. Hollywood is back.
It's a found footage, right?
Yeah.
I like it because that had its moment for a little bit and then went away.
Yeah.
Is it tense?
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I know you
Is
will.
it tense?
It's a teepee. It's a wigwam. It's a teepee.
Does it
It's a
give you
wigwam.
chills and terror?
It is one of the best performances by a lead in a horror movie I've seen in a long time. It's very funny,
I love a tense movie.
and it's so unpredictable at every turn.
Sounds so tense.
It is too tense.
Is it present tense?
Do you love camping movies?
Yeah, it's too tense.
It combines all the things
I do.
love.
I love circus
Tense.
movies. Have you been to the hottest club in downtown Manhattan?
I hear somebody's eyes rolling out there, but Stefan is still fucking funny. I don't care.
If someone is rolling their eyes at me, then they should stop
Stefan.
it right this very second.
Unroll your eyes.
How goddamn dare you?
Roll back they go. I don't care if they're dry.
I'm a professional.
Do your eyes get stuck back there sometimes?
I've heard that it can happen.
I don't think
I've
that's
heard about people getting
true.
contact lenses on the back of their eyeballs by accident from sleeping in them.
That happens, but I've never heard of eyes being stuck from being
Yeah, I don't-
rolling so much.
Yeah. Because your eyes are attached to your body by these stalks that grow into your brain.
There's also lubricating
can't-
things in your eyelids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think are we overthinking this?
It just can't happen. I don't want
The point is stop rolling your goddamn eyes.
It.
Stefan's still funny. Stefan. I wanted to say Stefan.
Anyway.
And Stefan, he's funny too.
He's lost somewhere though.
Dashcam, good. Chippendale, good. There's good stuff out there, guys.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. You could try to cram as much in before the sun explodes as you possibly can.
I had a great week for movies, if you think about
Is
it.
the sun exploding? Is that on the news right now?
Oh, it's not today.
Okay.
Oh, billions of years from now, but it will happen.
I'll text
no,
you. I'll
that's
text
true.
you.
All right. Well, I don't read the news, so I don't know. Like, I would never know if they're like, today scientists are like, hey, buddy,
I'll text you.
just so you know, this might also be happening.
Kelly-
So go ahead and...
Kelly, the sun's exploding, then you put the emoji.
You know what?
Actually, just don't tell me if that's happening. Like, everybody just try to keep it from me. Like, go and do like a 51st dates day where you get like change out like newspapers and stuff. I mean, it's a different version of that.
Don't tell me if the sun exploding, guys. Just don't.
Do you think
know.
that some celebrity stories will continue through the headlines of the imminent explosion of the sun? Like, we'll still be talking about Pete Davidson and
I don't know.
So we're gonna
Kardashian.
ask how like Kim Kardashian's handling the sun exploding.
Right, like they're going to interview her about how she feels, like how this will affect her line,
It's
her
like,
new
hey
line.
guys, got this new SPF for the sun exploding. It's SPF 1 million.
She's like, don't worry, we're getting on a rocket and leaving.
But to be fair,
My fans, don't worry, my fans. Just if you have my app, you can send me well wishes.
to be fair, we won't even make it probably to the actual explosion because the changing.
Why can't stars explode spontaneously, or do they have like a lifespan?
I think they have like a lead up.
Usually, yeah.
It depends
think
if
you
they have a
know.
sex tape or not.
Okay.
Then they have a career.
How
And then
long?
it boom.
How long
What do you know?
can a human being exist in like zero gravity? Like, say they left on a rocket. How long can you live like that?
In a
Sounds like a
rocket?
great David Bowie song.
They get into this on Avenue 5 a little
Yeah,
bit.
doesn't it come a point where your bones become jelly or something? And
Yeah, there is like if you're in space
Yeah.
for too long, it affects your bones.
your density or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about like your kidneys have been floating around too much and like the wear and tear,
You
and then
are
one just
my
goes.
density.
Your muscles
One just
density is
go-
taught me
They
to
just
you.
come out your mouth like, well, excuse me.
Just you burp
Just-
up
just-
everything?
That's just my kidney.
I love having the reason why I laughed a little before I just said my dumb question is because I realize I sound like a stoner when I ask these questions, but I will ask these questions any
true.
sober level.
Me too, man. I say that all the time. I'm like, this is gonna sound super stony when I say this, but I mean
Yeah.
it. I am stoned also, but I would say it either way.
Yeah, well, people, when everyone thinks you're high all the time,
You're
as
like the boy
everyone-
who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Just
My
left you
whole life.
stoned.
You just start to just be like, that's okay, I can say what I want to say because you're going to think I'm high anyway.
Which is why I didn't hesitate to say I liked the Chippendales movie. Not Chippendales.
Although we did watch that too.
Chip and Dale.
And then you watch the Chippendales movie also.
I watched a movie this week I'd never seen before, Forbidden Planet.
Oh yeah.
Holy fuck balls, that is so good.
Yeah, it was
It is
really
just
good.
a straight up Star Trek episode.
It's a movie?
Yeah.
Never heard
Yeah.
of it.
Oingo Boingo.
Is it an old movie?
Yeah. 40s?
50s.
Oh, not Oingo Boingo. Not
Oingo
Forbidden
Boingo.
Zone.
No, Forbidden Planet with Leslie Nielsen.
Sorry.
It's a starship where Leslie Nielsen is
yes,
the captain.
I know Forbidden Planet as well.
Yeah. And they've kind
Naked
of,
Gun, Leslie Nielsen?
yeah, this is before he was
He's a
known
young
as a
man.
comedian.
For a second, when you started to say it was like a Star Trek episode, because I was thinking of Forbidden Zone.
Yeah. Was
I
that
was
very
like-
confusing?
Forbidden Zone, that's so weird you should bring that up.
It
Because
is.
we just covered Multiple Maniacs.
Oh yes.
And what's her name is in Forbidden Zone.
Divine?
Not Divine. The one who
Mink Stole?
No, the crazy. Oh no, it wasn't that. We saw her in. Not that. We saw her on Joe Bob.
What?
The movie. It was the movie.
And here's the problem. You didn't watch it too much.
You didn't watch too much shit. But like on the movie, remember the crazy lady in that movie we watched that they just featured on Joe Bob last week?
Yeah.
She was in Forbidden Zone.
Yes.
It was. But it was a very
Susan something.
Yeah, Susan.
What was that movie?
I'll look.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna drive me crazy otherwise.
Yeah, I guess I did watch too much shit this week because we also watched Joe Bob and I watched The Stepfather for the first time, and that is great.
Have you ever seen that?
If anybody was wondering,
It's legitimately a really good movie.
I've heard.
Is it tense?
It sounds like it's tense. I always imagined it to be so.
it's tense in a fun way.
So much fun.
Is it fun in a tense way?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Are those the same or are they different?
Butcher, Baker.
Are they different or are they the same?
It's like an SAT question.
Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker.
That's right. That's the movie.
It was Aunt Cheryl.
That's a crazy movie.
It was a fun movie.
It was fun.
Is it old?
Yeah, it's from the
70s,
80s.
80s.
Yeah, I think it was
Butcher,
the
Baker,
80s.
Nightmare Maker?
Yeah.
Is it like a crazy weird movie?
It sounds like one, right?
It's goofy.
It's bonkers, man. It is a bonkers ass movie.
I love that candy.
I do too.
It's fun.
You gotta love a bonkers.
I don't know what the original release.
Do they make
is,
him
though,
anymore?
to-
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I miss them. Well, I couldn't eat them anyway. But.
I miss them.
Terrifying commercial, though. I was always afraid of eating them and actually being crushed by a bunker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a kid. I'm dumb. I thought I was going to be like, a bonker was going to fall on me, but I would still be happy because I had bonkers.
Well,
Only 80s kids will know.
1981.
Okay.
Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker, and it was Susan Terrell
gotcha.
who was in
Yeah.
the Forbidden Zone, which I don't think
It's
Amy
not
has seen.
Forbidden Planet.
She dated Hervé Villachez,
No, I didn't.
not you.
Oh, you were pointing
Susan
at me when you said
Terrell.
that.
Cool.
You know, tattoo from
Anyway.
Fancy.
Could you
Oh,
have,
now I
did
know.
your
Yeah.
ages
Sorry.
ever line up?
That's
where it's
okay.
Yeah.
Not inappropriate?
No,
Okay.
never once.
What?
We were just goofing. That Hervé Villachez would have been way too old for me
Oh yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because I was born in 1980.
Yeah, you guys
were.
have been the same height,
Yeah. Well,
essentially. Well, he'd be taller than you for
Yeah.
the first
For a very
few
long
months of
time.
your
So that makes
relationship.
it okay.
everything's fine.
He was so tiny.
But he's dead now.
He is. He committed suicide.
Whoa.
It's so sad. If you get, Andy's laughing.
Sorry.
The
Yeah,
whiplash
sorry,
of
yeah.
the things we're saying.
Don't call me out on my insensitivity.
I mean, it's my fault for the way I frame shit because my mouth just goes. And
You
then it
have to
comes
tell
out
everybody
stupid.
off who we are behind the scenes.
Well, no, I think I was laughing because it's just a fucking ridiculous conversation.
The movie they made for HBO where Peter Dinklage plays Hervé Villachez, and it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that
believe
bad
you.
casting, though? Because he's not Hispanic, is he? Peter Dinklage.
I bet they weren't splitting hairs.
Hervé Villachez was, I think, Italian
Let's
or
not
something.
guess.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, Andy brings up a point. I don't know. I
Or
don't know.
French? Was he French?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh man.
I
Oh,
didn't know
boy.
his name.
So yeah, apparently I watched a lot of shit this week. That was great. Anybody
great.
else?
Do you?
Anybody else?
But you don't remember what you watched because they're all melding together.
Hervé Villachez
No,
is from
that's
Paris.
Freddie.
Okay.
He's French,
That's Freddie.
or he was French.
Well, it doesn't mean that his
Before his
ethnic
tragic
origins
suicide.
aren't different. But that's all I can tell you.
That's all I can hear.
Ooh, boys,
That's all I can take.
it's been hot out there though.
Has been.
Woo hoo hoo.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at now? Talking
Yeah,
about
that's
the
what we're doing.
That means it's time.
You been outside lately?
It's time to move on.
It's
then.
like a wet
Like, yeah,
asshole.
how do you think I got here, Amy?
If you bring up the weather, it's an immediate next sketch segment.
Let's move to the next sketch.
Next sketch.
Working hard and hardly working.
Boys and girls, it's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It's so ugly.
You know, when I was a kid, I would have loved to have lived in a place like this.
What's in there?
That's the cellar.
It's filthy.
I like to think of it as character.
Oh, Dad, get me out.
Hang on, Ellie.
Dad, come on. Mom, get me out. I'm done here.
I need you to watch Steven tonight.
So you're leaving us here on our first night.
Go down and check the circuit breaker.
No, I'm scared.
There's 10 steps to the bottom. Count each step. Can you do that?
1, 2,
You're doing great, Ellie. Keep counting.
3.
We've talked to her friends, but no leads, unfortunately.
Something happened in the cellar. What about this?
It's definitely a representation for a dimension.
There's symbols above all the doors. An ancient evil.
Delta, point vector, epsilon.
There's something in there. It looks like Ellie.
It's here.
Steven. Mom. Steven.
Steven?
This sounds like a Stephen King story.
Well, so the concept is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it could have been written into a lovely novel that would have been a moderate hit.
Yeah.
But translated into this movie, The Cellar, it just doesn't, it's too big for its britches.
I got
You know, I think part of that is apparently it was a short film prior to this just called The 10 Steps. And I think it was all the kind of the concept without any meat.
Well, I like the idea of the meat. So, okay. You get an idea in the trailer.
Amy
I
loves
also
meat.
like the idea of meat, and I like meat itself.
Amy likes meat, and she sure likes the bone.
In practice.
She's Mary Moon.
She's better than Mary Moon because she likes both.
But okay, what I was trying to say was, you hear from in the trailer they're talking about symbols and like, I don't know if they said it, but like mathematical equations.
Symbols.
And then like it factors into this.
And pens.
It factors into the supernatural event and why it's happening, and
That's a Lovecrafty thing.
yeah, it's like these are cool things. These people move into an old house in Ireland. Things are kind of weird there. The daughter goes missing in the cellar, like can't find her anywhere, and there's symbols written on things.
Very Lovecrafty.
I find out that this house used to be owned by this renowned physicist, I believe, like in the olden times, like 19th, 20th century. And that he might have been head of this organization that wanted to summon a demon, and using these principles of mathematics, and apparently you can look at an equation and go, I think this is about interdimensional stuff,
Opening portals.
yeah
Yeah.
so this is all really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie is so dreary and dismal and dull
Oh no.
that when you have these little flashes of it, they don't really, I'm like, oh, that if we could like really pump that part up and like really flesh out this stuff.
What did they make fleshy?
There's a scene where the daughter, you hear it in the trailer, and she's like, I need you to go down to the cellar because the power's out and the mom's working. You get the idea that the mom and dad are they work a lot, so the kids are kind of on their own. The teenage daughter is just played to perfection. If they were going for the worst fucking most obnoxious teenager ever.
I think usually they
And
are.
I think they were.
Is the kind of teenager that breaks their parents' hearts on every day.
Just an asshole at every turn.
But
And
the mom was super cool. The Alicia Cuthbert character.
Yeah, well, she's a brunette in this. and we're just so used to her as a blonde.
I hear you.
I've
been saying I hear you a lot.
Fun. Yeah. I could verifiable less fun in this movie.
Blondes are supposed to. Anyway, so she's like, hey, go down to the cellar. Her daughter's like, it's fucking scary, which I don't blame her. And she's like, there's only 10 steps. I'll stay on the phone with you. Let's count them together. And she's counting. And she gets to 10. And the mom's like, all right, so you're going to want to turn left too. And then you hear 11, 12. And it just keeps going over the phone. Boy, was that a creepy scene.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
I just spoiled it.
But you know what?
I'm just not sure the movie rises to its own material.
And I was so at this point I'm like I pearked up because I was in the room. I'm like, ooh, now we're getting somewhere. And then when I saw the equations and stuff that they referenced in that trailer, there's an old episode of the Twilight Zone called Little Girl Lost. It's the one they actually based Poltergeist on. That was the inspiration for that. This movie feels like a more faithful adaptation of that story than Poltergeist was, obviously. Because the physics part of it that comes into this one.
Yeah.
But that said, God, man, this felt airless. Physics.
So is the movie just them trying to find? Did she get lost in the cellar, like transported somewhere?
She got transported to the demon's dimension.
Oh. So the whole movie is her trying to get out, or them trying to find her?
Them trying to find her. It was kind of nice to see the teenager go away.
Yeah.
Because it's just, again, on purpose, the worst in making me angry.
Do you get to know anything about the other place?
Not really. You're there briefly.
In the other dimension?
Yeah.
Does it seem scary?
Yeah, it doesn't seem nice.
What was that Italian
covered in
movie
ash?
Where that one Italian horror movie where at the end they go into that world of the dead kind of, and they're walking through the crowd of. Was it the Beyond? Not the Beyond. It was a.
I just watched a couple recently.
Right. I can't remember the name. It's where they inherit the hotel or something.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in Louisiana.
Oh, that is the Beyond.
Was it the Beyond? Okay. I feel like they were trying to kind of do an homage to that with that sequence in the third act.
I feel like I've seen enough at this point in my life to know, I can look at a frame of this movie and I would be able to say that was filmed in the UK or Ireland. It has that look. It's wet.
Dull.
It's dull.
Yeah.
There's not. Everything's dark.
Hear that, UK listeners?
Yeah.
Your country's dreary.
In particular, Ireland.
Lighten it up. Repaint.
The whole
guys.
Scottish, Irish, British thing. I can spot your shit a mile away.
Do you feel like it's?
And I know you can spot our shit a mile away.
Specifically horror, darker themed movies shot in Ireland tend to look one specific way.
I mean, there's some fun black comedy kind of horror movies.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking literal lighting. There's literally some movies they film in Ireland. Before we get an email or a comment, that sometimes it looks like a beautiful, lush wonderland, but almost every time a thriller or horror film or anything in the genre is made there, they take all the color out of it.
Well, It's Always Sunny was just in Ireland. Wouldn't you say it was gray?
I don't think they actually went though.
I think they did.
I think maybe they shot some exteriors there, but I think I read that they ended up not doing it. But I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
What do I look like?
What?
I know that there were quite a few American TV and film productions in Ireland during the pandemic, but this isn't the space for that.
This isn't.
They're not allowed here.
This isn't the space for that, and this isn't the discussion we're having.
No, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Listen to a different podcast if you want that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can get that anywhere. We bring you something different.
It's the information you're not looking for.
It's just, man.
So is it not a recommend? I can
Not
see?
really. Okay. I can't in good conscience, but I can tell you that there was some cool shit in there. And I wanted the movie to give more room to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it was just too many stairs.
Oh yeah.
Too much counting.
That's
Although that's very
unusual
creepy.
criticism of a movie. Too many stairs.
That's why she quit her last job.
Too many
You know,
stairs.
like in
She
some of
hates
these
Lord of the Rings.
these ghosty horror movies where, you know, somebody's whispering. Yeah. But they're like praying, or it's Latin, or it's some other shit like that. I do find the counting to be, it was weirdly spooky to me.
That moment was great. At first, I was kind of irritated by that. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to have to sit and listen to this woman count her kid down the stairs. To 10?
Yeah, I was annoyed at that scene. I'm like, this is taking too fucking long.
The pacing.
But then I realized that was the point, but the pacing didn't work.
Right. The movie was missing like important bits of pacing, and like motivation was missing in a lot of scenes. Like, you may know your character's motivation, but the audience is being lost on us like almost every time.
Why is he doing that?
Right.
What is she doing?
That's how I sound at movies.
You sound like Heath Bunker.
I don't know what happens.
And then I hold his arm and I lean in and I yell into his ear. I'm like, it's because of the thing that happened in the beginning of the gas station.
Oh, Freddie, I don't remember that part. I don't remember at all.
If you would uncover your eyes.
I can't uncover my eyes, Freddie. I can't.
Sorry.
All right.
We didn't. We really did start to go into an All in the Family.
We did. That's where I was heading straight in there.
Yeah, I wish I'd gotten there a little faster.
No, you're
with
good.
You know,
you did it.
All the way Glenn Miller.
I think it's good we didn't, because I don't think everybody was feeling it.
No.
They're like, All in the Family. What's that?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. So for
That's
next,
a 60-year-old reference.
I didn't mean to start the wheel. I started the wheel.
Well, that's okay.
Are you allowed to do it twice?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
No. She
Yes?
said no.
This is it. This is all we have.
Okay. Are you going to tell us what the movie is and then tell us who lost or won?
Yes.
Because we only get one per day. Is that it?
That's what she says.
We only get one.
Do you want me to do it again? But I hate this.
I was trying to build a thing. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the movie, it's on Shudder. It's called Mad God.
Oh my God.
A corroded diving bell descends amidst a ruined city, and the assassin emerges from it to explore a labyrinth of bizarre landscapes inhabited by freakish denizens.
That sounds dope.
This is stop motion animation.
That sounds extra dope.
And you guys sound super excited.
You had me when you said labyrinth.
Oh shit, this guy's got a pretty serious pedigree in visual effects. The guy who wrote and directed this.
I've seen the trailer for this.
It sounds like BioShock, kind of.
Well, I don't know. It's on Shudder though.
Who's that studio that does the stop motion?
Leica?
Yeah, Leica. I like Leica.
I love their stuff.
Like a Liga?
So great.
So,
did you say who's going to watch it?
Oh, Freddie.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot because it was all so topsy-turvy. Freddie.
All right, cool. Well, this sounds great.
I might watch it also.
I was about to say, yeah. I would watch
encourage
it.
anyone to.
Maybe then we can talk about it together.
My God.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be fun.
Then do it. There's never a rule that you're allowed every week to watch the movie. It's not like spinning the wheel where you only can do it once.
I don't know. I haven't had that cleared for me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're afraid we're going to open a portal to a hell dimension.
I haven't received that information.
Here we go, guys. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Camp Bloodbath is the granddaddy of all campsite slasher films. Max's mom plays Nancy, this shy girl next door.
Nice legs. What time they open?
It's cool you get to remember your mom this way.
At least I get to see her on the anniversary of her death, even if she is being chased by a psycho.
Guys, somebody's coming.
Hey, do you guys know the way to Camp Bluefinch?
Tina. So we're in the movie.
Oh, hi. What's your name?
Anyone want to help?
help me pick some strawberries?
Nope, but I'll give you a hand with those melons. Talking about her boobs.
The writing is so bad.
What is that noise?
It's Billy. He's coming. Everyone who has sex in this movie dies. It's awesome.
No sex.
Wait. Selfie time.
Dude!
How do we get out of here?
Movies like this end when the final girl kills the bad guy and the credits roll.
That's Paula. That's the final girl. We just have to stay with her till the end of the movie.
Oops. I want to know where they keep the hardware. I want chainsaws and big-ass knives, and I want them now.
Guys, what's happening? Why am I colorblind? Am I having a stroke?
We're in a flashback.
I wonder if all this blood is just corn syrup, you know? Like these characters are walking around with just corn syrup in their veins. Oh, no. Oh, God, that's blood.
I know in the movie you're supposed to die, but that doesn't mean you have to, right?
What do we do now? We fight.
Even the trailer's great.
Yeah.
Trailer
Man.
gives away a lot, though, but I don't think that's bad.
No, I gotta say, so I gotta first off throw a confession out there.
Mhm.
A lot of times, Alise and I will watch the movie, you know, Sunday night or Saturday night or whatever together, and if it sounds good or off, a lot of times just to knock it out. But this time I was like, you know, we don't have to watch this tonight. I'll watch it tomorrow during the day by myself. It's like we don't need to blow good wife time on what looked to me like a lackluster movie. And I forgot the fantasy twist.
Yeah.
And so
that's even better that you went into this not realizing
it
what
is
was going to
better
happen.
because, and then when I started watching it today after like around my lunchtime, and the first few minutes of the movie, I was like, oh yeah, I was right about this. And then it changes, and I was like, oh shit, right. And then the further I get into the movie, the better I like it. Till at the very end, I'm like, I want to watch this again.
Yeah. It is like, to me, second time seeing it, it was better this time for me.
Well, like at the end, like spoiler alert, it kind of like leads up to a potential sequel, and I want to see a sequel to this.
I do too.
Yeah, I probably won't though.
No, it's been 7 years.
And they're older. These people are adults now.
It doesn't. What's funny is like I feel like they had to end it that way. I mean, probably they did hope for a sequel, but like I feel like this is a movie that would be difficult to sequelize.
Yeah, maybe the setup for a sequel was because those movies always do.
Yeah, what I liked about this movie, we'll get into it though, is I liked the loosey-goosey rules and and then nobody really knows what they are or if they are or how they work.
Yeah, like the Leah Remini type who is supposed to be the final girl, and you think it's going to unfold away by the rules. Yeah, Paula shows up and sure enough, like that rule doesn't apply either.
Yeah, they keep thinking they've got it figured out, and then they don't.
Yeah,
which is great because you wouldn't.
Well, for me, the best part of this movie was the cast.
Yeah,
it goes to
great
show you
cast.
how much likable characters and likable actors are to a movie. Because I hate to bring it up all the time because it's been beaten. The horse has been beaten to death. It's been buried. But Scream 5, part of the reason I hate it so much, I didn't hate it, but to me, it wasn't successful because the characters and the actors were just nothing.
Yeah.
To me.
I gotcha.
They were just bland as all could be.
Right.
But the actors in this, they just elevated everything.
And the chemistry.
Yeah.
And these are people who have worked together, some of them before and since, like on Righteous Gemstones. If you're not watching that, by the way, that show is off the charts great, and it's Adam Devine's in that, and he's really great too. But there's the chemistry amongst them, and they figured out this balance where the characters that exist in the movie universe are performed in such a specific way that it's so different than the real world characters, but it's not so absurd that you don't feel for them or you don't take them seriously.
Yeah, they're playing like stereotypical characters, but they never go into like over the top territory with
Right.
it.
Well,
That's
they
one
make
of the
them
things-
relatable.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that really got me about this movie is how many times I thought they were going to do something like kind of stupid, and then they would circumvent it or go in a different direction, or just little small things, and so it was constantly like kind of like pleasantly surprising me. I'm like, oh, you're better than I thought you were, aren't you, Final Girls?
I guess the Adam Devine character is the most like over the top character, but all the stuff he said was so funny that you could take it.
He's so good.
The outtakes in the end credits.
Yeah.
So they're just awesome.
Something I read in the trivia really like deepened this movie for me. Is that the co-writer is the son of Jason Miller?
Yeah. Who played Father Karras?
Father Karras from The Exorcist. He wrote this after his dad died.
Joshua John Miller.
So he wrote this after his dad died. So he truly is the Max.
Yeah.
Who will always see their dead parent on a movie screen.
This movie actually was moving.
It
Like at the
was.
end where Tyson Farmiga's character is letting her mom take the fall for her.
Oh, agreed.
It was actually, I got choked up a little bit.
I thought I was going to start to cry, and Colin had come upstairs, and he's off today, and he caught kind of the third act with me. I was like, am I going to start crying in front of him? Like, it wouldn't matter, it'd be fine. But like, I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to.
I know you don't want to have to go through
at
all
this
that.
movie.
This
too.
movie in particular,
Like,
you're worried he would be like, "What is wrong with my dad?"
No, but just like I feel like I don't know. I should
You save your public crying for other more
that's how
acceptable.
good this movie worked, because you care about these characters so much.
Yeah.
That in a movie that seems so light and
silly,
throwaway almost.
I just kept thinking
you want these characters to like be happy, be okay.
It tugged at my heartstrings, and I really just kept saying in my head, like, this movie is so much better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
And it just kept being smarter than I gave it credit for.
It pairs really
the
well
whole
with
time.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
They very much are
and
on
Tucker
the
and
level.
Dale.
And Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
movies that you could tell are made by people who love horror movies.
It reminded me of
know
like,
their shit.
Back to the Future and like Wizard of Oz too.
And we're going to spoil the end, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What I love too, and of course I'm jumping way ahead, but during the whole time, and we were kind of talking about it as we were watching the movie, maybe we'd pause it to get a drink or something, and I said, well, it'd be super dark is if they ended it where after she kills everybody, after she completes what she thinks is the thing, nothing happens, and she's just stuck in this empty world by herself until she just kind of starves to death.
Oh,
and Colin was like, oh, you mean the Black Mirror version of this? And that's obviously not what they do, but I do like that it doesn't just like poof, the spell is broken, and they go back to how things were. Like,
this is very much the Evil Dead in that respect.
Yeah, it pushes into. It doesn't give you an easy like.
Yeah,
they're stuck in another dimension, maybe forever.
And that's what you love, that sense of when a horror film can cross over into an adventure film.
That's the best.
And does it gracefully like this did. Yeah. Like the movie Wax. Have you seen Waxwork?
No.
We should watch that. There's two Waxwork movies. I love them.
Right.
There's stupid. It's Zach Galligan from Gremlins is the star.
Yeah.
The male lead. But it is one of these movies where it could have been just a shit movie about a wax museum where you go into the exhibit and you're in the actual thing. Like if you go into Jack the Ripper's exhibit, you're in Jack the Ripper's alleyway or whatever.
Yeah.
As an example. And, but they didn't, and it could have simply been you go in there and you die, right?
Right.
But they do this thing at the end of the first Waxwork movie to roll it into a sequel that is really creative and fun.
Yeah.
Where he's trapped bouncing around through time.
Oh, he's caught in a leap.
Yeah. He's just bouncing from different time periods. And this movie gave me that vibe. Like, and again, I like you were saying, the sequel. I wanted to see a sequel to this. I would love it.
I wouldn't hate it, but it doesn't feel like a franchise to me.
No.
Well,
they got another kid with another Scream Queen dead mom.
No, I mean these characters. You'd bring the characters that they're in the hospital.
Keep getting stuck. Oh, just keep going through the sequels?
Tropes. Like kind of like how Toy Story did, where Toy Story was like, when they're like, oh wait, there's all these toy tropes we never addressed in Toy Story. We'll make Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Because horror movies are like toys, really, because they connect us, like, I think, to our childhood and our imagination in a way. And I think this sort of thing is exactly that, where you can go in and you could write a second movie and cover completely different tropes than you did in the first one.
Absolutely.
And these guys are sharp enough to do it. Obviously, when you watch this, you're just that's why I'm like, give me more, please.
What I loved, okay, so
it didn't make its budget back. They're probably not.
Yeah, highly. It might become super popular on DVD or something. On DVD.
On DVD back in 2010.
It comes out on tape.
Freddie Morris. When they first pop into the movie, our intrepid heroes.
Have we said what actually happens?
Yeah, they go to the screening, right? Yeah. Good.
So you start off, you actually meet Taisa Farmiga and her mother, played by Malin Ackerman, and you kind of get the quick. You get a bit of the movie that her mother, Malin Ackerman, was in, which was a very, very super stylized, like almost Scooby-Doo-ish, 80s slasher camp movie. Which it looks great. It looks great.
It is almost exactly like Friday the 13th Part 3 or something. Or
yeah, well, it's definitely lampooning that hard, among other things. And so, they're talking blee, blee, blah, blah, blue. And then Malin Ackerman is taking her eyes off the road an alarming amount of times.
Yeah.
Which is always concerning to me. This is what I said to Alise the other day about The Good Wife. I was like, you know what I appreciate about The Good Wife? Is when they're having a conversation in the car, like she'll turn her head a little bit for like a second, like you do, but then like her eyes are staying on the road. She is so in that moment, like they don't.
They're tired of reckless TV drivers,
and does bother their computers. Too. Like when they pull up like images on on security cameras, like they can't just like fucking enlarge until they see details, and they don't. Their computers don't go. I just appreciate that they don't.
Whoa, hold on, you lost me.
Doing it right, The Good Wife.
Hell, you are so adorable. Like, you know what I like about The Good Wife?
Oh, I see. It wasn't.
It's always constantly in your mind.
I was still in the car situation when you started talking about the computers. Like,
Were you like, what scene is he talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
when they're on the computer in their car.
Yeah, she's on the computer. So Malin Ackerman is driving recklessly, and she has an accident that kills her. 3 years later, now we connect back up with Max.
Oh my god, sad scene, by the way.
It is sad. It's very hard
because their chemistry, the two in this scene. It's so genuine. You can tell it feels like they love each other. They're singing Betty Davis Eyes Together to take their mind off the fact that that's the Malin Ackerman character. She is
Nancy. Well,
Nancy, or whatever her name is.
No, Amanda Cartwright.
Yeah.
In the real world.
Well done. That she is trying to make sure that no matter how bad things are, that her kid doesn't know it. Even though her kid's clearly smarter than she is and more attuned to what's really happening.
And knows that everything is wrong because she's the one that has the bills.
I said, during watching this movie, I said to myself, this actress could have made some pretty good coin on the convention circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because she kept trying to go for roles and everything.
Yeah.
But she could just do the convention circuit and made a decent living.
Yeah. Because she's a struggling actress. She's a struggling actress. She's a struggling actress who her claim to fame is this movie that she was in, this horror movie that she wasn't even the main character of.
She's kind of ashamed of it.
Yeah, she's a little, and she can't get away from it because probably all the convention people are always hounding her and shit. And
but lean into it,
and
that's how you make money on the convention circuit.
Well, it didn't turn out right for her in this situation.
She's very much a free spirit. Like, she's kind of a free spirit, and her daughter's a little bit more responsible. And then to prove this, she wrecks a car horrifically
by looking away constantly.
And it plays great because that was one of the first moments. Because even the first couple of minutes, I didn't know how I was gonna. I was like, this just feels kind of cheap, and I don't know. I don't like this.
He's a fussy baby. He's doing fussy baby noises.
And then the fucking wreck happened. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
They came to play.
And then we get back into the high school a little bit. And again, they're introducing characters. I'm like, oh, I see what this is. Okay. Because I'd forgotten. I didn't know what the synopsis was. And I started to think again. I was like, oh, well, the dialogue's okay. It's cute. It's going to be like a Scream thing, but super light. And so you meet her friends at high school, and it's Alia Shawkat, who is Gertie, who steals the show.
Mm-hmm. That's the Tatum character.
Maybe.
Yeah. And you got your Stu, you got your Billies.
Yeah, and
you got your Randys.
Nina Dobrev plays kind of the bitchy.
Yeah, she's the
Cordelia.
I know you did last summer. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I didn't think about the fact that that's like a whole nother layer.
Yeah, they got the tropes of the 90s horror down perfectly.
They did the tropes of the 90s horror in what is supposed to be reality.
Yeah, and that's when like the 90s started to get meta about horror movies. So I think there's so many layers to this.
Yeah, it is. At first I was, because Colin said something about another love letter to horror movies, and I was like, I don't know if this is that much. And then we got further, I was like, yeah, I'll say that, because exactly what you just said. It has so many things that it shouts out to, and the layers do go deep like that. So now they're in school, and they find out that her mom's fucking movie is going to be showing on the anniversary of her death, and Thomas Middleditch character, who's like the Randy, who's the movie nerd, is trying to convince her to come out and do it, and he promises to do her homework forever or something like that.
Yeah.
And so she agrees to do it. And then you also meet Chris, is the dude's name, I think, who's sort of like your jock character, but again, always plays out of type. Like he's a real great. I love that dude. And
his dads are gay.
Yeah, that is such a great moment. Like, and then even Adam Devine's response, where he's like, "It's actually pretty cool." It's like everybody's kind of lovable in this. Even
it taps into the homoeroticism of how they dressed in the 80s.
Yeah. And it's a very sweet movie. Anyway. Ultimately, and
because he has crop tops all the time,
always with the crop tops, and so they fucking they go to the thing, the movie, and they're watching it, and her mom comes on screen. It's kind of emotional, but you're like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And I can't exactly understand how the mechanics of what happens.
It's Final Destination.
Yeah, a guy's drinking like 151 out of a bottle.
That's what it was in the bottle. I thought it was a soda, so I didn't put together.
I know it's alcohol.
Okay, well now I understand. So they start this fire, and I guess
you can smoke in theaters apparently in this world.
Well,
yeah.
And so everybody seems like maybe they're going to die because the exits are blocked.
Yeah,
and
it's scary.
It is scary. So then Taissa Farmiga wakes up.
She finds somebody drops a machete.
Yeah, costume.
Because from a costume.
Oh yeah,
and they literally cut through the screen.
And she leads them too, which it's a really great heroic moment for the character where she picks
she's
up
the only
machete.
one doing anything.
So they literally go into the movie.
It's also very Wizard of Oz vibe.
Very much. Yeah. And that moment, like there's something I said this to Amy, that Taissa Farmiga's silhouette plays like the artistry of the way this movie is actually directed. Like her silhouette, especially when she has that machete, it's like a drawing. It doesn't look like a real person.
It may very well be even.
There are a couple moments in the movie where you get faraway shots. And,
and
they look like paintings.
Very stylistic. We talked about that too at that point, where it really, because throughout the movie I kept saying, I was like, oh, this is all right. This is fun. This is cute. It's better than it has any right to be. And then I'd get to the next thing that impressed me. I was like, oh shit, this is fun. I like this. I think I kind of like this. And at the end I was like, well, you can come back and watch the beginning. I'm going to watch this with Alise because I think it's awesome. I really
so great. I'd watch it again. I mean, I'm 2 in. I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
2 in.
I'm 2. I'm ready for thirds. I'm ready for thirds.
So now they are in the movie.
So they all wake up and
palette
they're like,
changes. They love the color palette change.
And they're like, where the F are we? And as they're standing there, this is such a great moment.
I love this.
The fucking van from the movie comes down the road, and the girl leans out and asks them if they know where fucking Camp Bluefinch is. And they just kind of look at her, and they drive off. And then like 5 seconds later,
well, it says 92 minutes later.
Or is it 92 minutes?
The length of the
movie, right? Yeah. See, I missed that. But they circle back around, and then they finally slowly start to put together that they are in.
How magical was that shit?
It was really good.
Yeah.
And I love how Thomas Middleditch is reciting the lines as the characters they meet up in the movie is.
Yeah.
He's so excited to be
It was infectious, his joy of being in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how everybody would be, just giddy.
If you were that kind of a fan, or you'd be Thaisa Farmiga and be sort of catatonic.
Yeah. Because, well, she just saw her dead mom.
And also, you woke up in a horror movie.
And you woke up in a horror movie.
That moment when she sits up in the back of the van.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Like, they really sold it.
Well, because you're waiting for it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
you're waiting for it, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, they did it.
Yeah. It's like a fairy tale moment.
Yeah. At first, they try to play it off like, oh, we're just other counselors.
Yeah. And because they're in a movie, they just buy it because, of course, they live in a Pleasantville style universe.
Oh my God, they're all adorable.
Where everything is just like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to explain anything because it's a fucking 80s movie that they're in.
Yeah.
There's no explanation needed for any reason. Wait, anything.
Yeah.
So they want to try to leave. Am I right?
Well, yeah, they want to get the hell out.
Yeah. And so they try to get the keys to the van that they rode in on.
Yeah, they think maybe they can drive out.
Yeah, but then Adam Devine throws the keys. He's so fucking great.
He is.
And this is
I feel like a lot of his lines are ad-libbed.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were.
He's a great improver.
My favorite part of the whole movie is talking. Him and Chris are flipping through the Playboys.
Yeah,
and they're just talking about the boobs, and Adam is talking about boobs and hooters, and he's like, he's like hootin'. Just that one line, of it, hootin'.
He has a rhythm. Like he knows where to punch in. His pepper his
Does
jokes.
hootin' mean just looking at boobs? You're hooting.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because his delivery is just like hootin'.
Are the boobs hooting? Yeah. I need to know.
And also, so Tina, the sex
so
pot,
fucking great.
was
She's constantly writhing and dancing.
so hilarious. Again, adorable though. Like really, just such a when they fucking. Because taking off your clothes really calls out Billy, who is the Jason stand-in, and so they have
Kissing,
to like
sexing, taking off your clothes. It brings Billy.
They fucking have to like tie her clothes on, and they give her like lobster mitts so she can't take her shirt off because she's constantly trying to. She can't help it. It's how she's written.
And she's like a puppy dog that you can't leave unattended.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they
she's
leave her,
very
like,
enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Like these seem like throwaway characters, but you care for them.
Yeah.
because they're just so charming. And the black guy who's in a new wave.
I love
It
him.
reminded me of Return of the Living Dead. Actually,
Yeah, I think it was a
that's
play
what it
on-
was a play on for sure.
On that, and also that same what's his name, Junior Nunez. I can't remember his name. The one
Miguel Nunez.
Miguel Nunez, who was also in Friday the 13th Part 6.
Oh, was he in that too?
And he was kind of not this character because this character's sweeter, but
Yeah.
he was the aesthetic was the same. You know what I mean? The way they dressed him and the long dangly earring and all that
But
stuff.
it's the same actor in both of those.
In both those movies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of his. I think it was a lot of that was his style. But,
Yeah.
But the actor who played that character, Torrey Thompson.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a person. You know, some people you immediately just like them.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, he has warmth coming out of him like crazy.
And like he has a very distinctive, like all the actors in this movie, just the look of them is so distinctive and good faces.
Yeah. Well, that's like
they don't blend together like a lot of the 80s horror movies.
Yeah.
They're like carbon copies, but
Yeah.
like, they actually chose like good character actors.
He uses this director mostly does comedy, but like he uses his cast like more colors in the palette. Like it's almost like he knew exactly and you're not just the 90s stylized kids, but the 80s stylized kids. He knew like there's no way, I don't know how you could just fall into that by luck in casting to get the people they got. It seems like they had to really have a plan and like blend them
It's
just
like,
right.
this is like so well directed because I feel like he knew everything he wanted, down to the casting in the songs.
Yeah.
Everything was just so well thought out.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was great.
This time through, I think this is, again, it's as good as Cabin in the Woods.
They figure out that they can be hurt. Like, Billy will kill them because he takes a thwack at Thomas Middleditch's character.
I also just love the name Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy is the
Just
bad
Billy.
guy.
Yeah.
You get to see the flashback.
Which is sort of Night of the Creeps-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they did that in the 50s. Kinda.
And they then they realize they have sort of butterfly affected this movie and these characters. And they've ruined it so that the original final girl is dead.
Yeah, and can we also real quick talk about, I love the in-movie things that they experience, like when the flashback starts to happen and it looks little bits of water or glass like coming down from the ceiling until it's like rippling, and then you kind of put together, I know it's about to happen. Yeah. And the same with when you get in the flashback and it says summer of 1957, there are these letters that they can walk around
blocks.
and knock over. It was really...
Yeah, and they can hear the Billy the music when Billy shows up.
That's how they know somebody's taking their clothes off.
What is that?
Harry
what is that
Manfredini's Friday the 13th Kill 'Em Ma riff.
Yeah, at one point you hear the little riff and then they yell at the one chick to put her clothes on or something, right?
That happens a bunch because they're like, they know that someone somewhere is doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, but they lose their final girl and they're like, okay, well, we need a virgin. And the only virgin. This was weird to me because they say, okay, Max, you're the only virgin here. But we know her mom's character is a virgin, right?
Right. Well, she could have been the final girl because they have that whole conversation later where she kind of tries to convince her mom that she could be the final girl. And she says, well, I'm not, though.
Right.
And again, I think it's a testament to kind of the stretchy rules of the universe.
Yeah, they were very stretchy.
Where but it's built in. So it's like maybe anybody can be, maybe not. Don't know. Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
They lure Billy out, but in the by doing that, it kills Gertie and Vicky. Mm-hmm. It was a very
that was a sad moment too. Yeah,
heroic as hell too.
Because Vicky's been such a cunt this whole time, but you find out kind of why. But still, she does a heroic thing with Gertie.
She does, and they have a real nice moment. This is full of real nice moments for everybody. Real nice. And we forgot the moment where, so there's another great rules place where they witness the first killing in the movie. Like the kids from our world or whatever world they're from are watching this couple have sex at the beginning of the movie to set the whole thing off. And then Billy kills them, and then he sees them. And then your Randy character, Thomas Middleditch, he's just kind of standing there doing nothing. And he's like, I don't think he's going to do anything to us. He doesn't know what to do with us as long as we don't have sex or break any of these rules.
Right.
This is another part where I was like, oh, fuck yeah, movie, look at you. Because you think he's doing a very basic, you're like, oh, they're doing a Scream thing. And he's standing there, and then the thing walks away from him. There's like an intimidating moment, and then he walks away, and you think that's the moment.
And that worked too.
It did work. I was
kind of scared for him. I was like, ooh.
And then a couple beats later, you just hear like, and the machete comes like busting through Thomas Middleditch's stomach from the back, and he dies.
Yeah,
thinking that he couldn't, like that the killer wouldn't try to kill him because, and so
you think he dies.
Well, right. Well, you think he dies, but then he does actually die again, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing
But then he doesn't in the after credits.
Because I was gonna say or
the end or whatever.
This idea that, and this is where I think they could go with like a sequel to this or build on it, is it could also be again that it's a nesting doll situation where these are 90s horror kids.
Yeah,
they really were in a horror movie, and the horror movie was that.
Right, and they got brought out of their horror movie into another horror movie.
And it could be that maybe they take on a mission of trying to save.
Balls.
You could have this thing where they go through the movie universe is trying to save
remapped my brain.
Fictional characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
It would be neat.
I mean, I think that had to be a strong franchise for me. I'd watch every.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool idea now.
So the plan is Max is the final girl, and she's got this secret idea that she's going to get her mom through to the real world.
And he can only be killed with his own machete, apparently.
He has to be killed with his own machete.
Beheaded.
So there's a lot of luring him, and then the confrontation. Wait, help me out here.
So
they set up booby traps for him.
Right.
Yeah, and I love that dance he does.
Yeah,
Tina.
They let
when she's on Adderall.
She's all the Adderall, by the way.
They called it a booby trap literally because
you say 30, right? Is that what
she took 30 Adderall.
And she's gonna whip her boobies out. It's a booby trap.
And
but things don't go as planned. She trips and falls into the bear trap
face first.
Yeah.
So they lure them, Billy, but then he chases them and they find his secret cabin, and that's where it ends up.
Which is not in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they say like this is something that was they're in an off?
Yeah, she said I've never been here.
Yeah.
So basically, they try to
Nancy dies earlier in the movie, though.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that could be that.
She's just saying, "I can't help you. I don't know."
Oh wait, maybe that's
they get to a point where in the movie where things don't go as planned, so they don't know what to do now. So somebody else needs to be the final girl now. Well. Wait.
So then Taiza Farmiga gets stabbed.
Yeah.
And also Chris gets stabbed pretty hard.
Yeah.
But she also they managed to stab
everyone's got stabbed.
Billy and get his machete.
Yeah, she got the machete.
And then they end up back at their place and they have
one thing leads to
they're gonna lure him again. But then so Taiza Farmiga thinks she's dying and she's like, we gotta hurry up and get the final girl. You gotta kill him. And she's like, she's like, I have to die for you to,
The final girl has to be the final girl.
It was almost like Highlander.
Yeah, there could be only one.
Because once Malin Ackerman sacrificed herself, basically, she inherits Tyson gets all the powers.
She becomes
the final girl. Yeah.
What a testament to the acting where Malin Ackerman is doing something that should make the audience laugh at how stupid it is, which is she goes out
when
in the
she goes
middle
out
of
and
the
she's
field.
dancing. Oh, that was such
a
heart tugger.
She unbuttons her shirt, says you show her bra so we can lure Billy out.
And
she's dancing.
And she's watching Thaisa the whole time.
Who just told her that she was her mother.
And Betty Davis Eyes is playing. So it's
really
bookmarked.
sad.
Yeah, and
it's super sad.
And you know what's coming up. She has to die.
They both know.
It's
she's
really
going
beautifully
to die.
shot too. The whole thing, her dance, it's really touching. Like the chemistry is there.
And that one line where Thaisa's like, I wanted to save you. Like she is literally wants to save the character and her mom.
Yeah.
But her mom's like, that's what I was meant to. I wanted to save you. Like that's because that's what a mom does. She wants to give up everything for her
Gosh,
child.
it was rough.
Yeah.
But then we have Slayer Max.
Yeah, and she goes all, you know how it is.
She kills him.
Yeah.
Wakes up.
In hospital.
She kills Billy, and then the credits roll in the background.
Chris, he comes out and survives, which is a trope.
Yeah,
the one character you think is dead survives, and he comes walking out, and so now he's actually going to be okay.
It's because he made a 90s trope too. Really,
yeah, he made it past the credits.
Right.
So then they wake up. She wakes up.
And they did that with Tommy.
And Halloween too.
Yeah. No, Friday 13th. We thought Tommy died, and then his girlfriend was the final girl, and they lived together at the end.
I'm too high.
So what were you saying?
I can't digest what you're telling me for some reason.
They wake up in the hospital. She wakes up. She sees her friends. They're all still alive.
Yeah.
But there is no way Thomas Middleton should still be alive.
Yeah.
Because these are those squishy rules.
He shows the wound.
Machete wound, but he also got run over or something.
Which is supposed to clue you in, I think, that it's not actually, the end.
But they're acting like everything's fine.
Well, the other two were burned alive.
Yeah, that was Adam Devine's character that got tossed and
but that shows you too. He's now, but when he's on the cast, oh my god, that's so funny. Just because he was all broken up from going through the windshield.
Yeah.
He folds in half.
Yeah.
And then he's okay in the wheelchair. I love that this idea of these characters being
kind of cartoon characters.
Yeah. But that you have feelings. You really do have
You're
feelings.
like, oh, thank God they're still alive.
Well, it's also I was just about to say, it is this weirdly hopeful afterlife-y kind of like they're going to be jumping through movies, and maybe they're not in this plane anymore, but they will always live in the movies. Like, and they even say there is kind of that thing, and it's probably what the guy was referencing about his dad being Father Karras, where Malin Ackerman tells her daughter, like, you always know where you can find me, which I think is saying you can watch this movie anytime and see me. And it was like really,
it's really it got me verklempt.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it hate to bring up Scream again, but it goes to show you how much people get attached to these characters, because you know, Neve Campbell says she's not going to be in Scream 6, and there's a huge backlash against it. And it's true, because we grew up with the character. We want to see the character like be happy at the end, and I don't necessarily want to see a Scream without Sidney.
Yeah. But basically, they end up in the sequel, which looks like it's starting off Halloween 2 style.
Yep.
And then the movie ends, and you realize, oh shit, it ain't over.
Yeah.
But we'll never probably find out.
Oh man! But I hope there's a groundswell if people start watching this again on streaming. I hope there's a groundswell, and it should be a hit. It deserves the attention of Cabin in the Woods.
I agree.
So I hope that anybody out there, check it out.
As good as Cabin in the Woods is, I feel this one I like better because it had more heart.
I was just about to say
it did have a lot more heart.
I love Cabin in the Woods. That is a beautiful work of art, and there are absolute moments that got me like, wow,
because that was more about the movie making.
Yes.
And this is about the characters, I think.
Yeah.
That's why they pair so well.
And I felt like there was more downtime in Cabin. Like what you said is exactly like, I love Cabin in the Woods, but I think I liked this one. I had a better time with this one.
Right.
I had a little more fun, and I liked the characters a little more. I think in Cabin in the Woods, the characters were a little deliberately nondescript.
Right.
To play on that trope. Where it's just, your sacrificial teenagers from Greek mythology. But this I like. I think that is why I like this. I feel a little different about this.
They did kind of a reverse in Cabin in the Woods where they were drugging them to make them be. They were taking the core pieces of their character out.
Yeah.
The further you got into the movie, instead of in this movie, these characters. That's why it feels more like an adventure movie. They rise to the challenge.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's really good. I can't wait to watch it again.
The cream of the crop.
Ditto.
Rise to the top.
Rise to the top.
So Patreon.com/NOTLP.
If you're a Beelzebub there, we say your name at the end of every show. And sometimes banter about it, but we don't have to because I'm hungry. But I love you guys.
Yeah, they're
indeed.
Anyway.
They're our queens.
All of these are queens decreed by NOTLP Alise.
Yeah,
I love you, and I'll say that to you because you're my wife. But
yeah, don't the rest of you can't expect that.
I love you. I say this to you because you're my wife.
No, I wanted everyone else to know that it wasn't that I don't.
My wife.
I have affection for you.
I want feelings for a woman.
Lynn Walsh.
Come on, Lynn, down under.
Lynn Manuel Walsh. Alyssa Manuel.
Brandon and Emily.
Hey, babies.
Jeffel.
I want to take all your cheeks and just smush them together.
Jeffel, if you are the Jeff that chose this, thank you, sir. Good movie, man. Surprised me.
Thou'st are the droid we are looking for. Dustin.
And Ace and Lucifer and Poe. Saint Sebastian.
Iona
Cornelius.
Goodwin.
And a great one.
Yeah.
Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Brian.
Battle Damage He-Man Brian.
Hi, Brian. Billy Boy Chandler.
Oh, snap.
Billy Man Chandler.
You said we weren't going to do this, and we gave it to you anyway. No, you're welcome, listeners. We thought you thought this wasn't going to happen, and it did.
Bill Farner.
I could smell you like a Bill Farner and a Bill Carner.
Oh gosh, Blake. Blake, what is happening, Blake?
Blake the Rake, because he's so good at lawn work.
Mark Watts.
Mark Watts will light up your life.
Oh.
Blayne.
Blayne, just plain yogurt. Just plain yogurt.
But that's not a knock against you. You can do so much with plain yogurt.
No, I love it. I keep
it's
it
so
on hand
versatile
all the time.
It's good for anything.
Yeah.
It's down for whatever.
Guys, Jordache jeans.
Jordache jeans, the all powerful.
Blayne yogurt.
Joe, I just submitted my EP that's coming out later this year to the masters today. To the mastering, not to the masters. The masters of the universe.
Course thing?
I submitted it to the golf thing. I'm hoping that for some reason they'll be like, why did we get this? And they'll give me something anyway.
Is that the green jacket thing? Go on.
Anyway, thank you again. I know that we talked about recording, and you helped me out to get.
He's a nice boy.
Some gear, and it's nice. Good, thank you.
Paul
the all-knowing.
Y'all.
Yeah. Jeremy and Cassie.
The Wonder Twins.
I'm not.
Power Twins activate.
Be weird because they're married.
And Gamora that makes Gamora Zeke. Gleek.
Gloop glop.
Gleek.
Ernie.
Sleestack. Ernie Sleestacks.
You have to change your name now. Ernie.
Hey, it's Ernie Sleestack.
They call him Ernie Sleestacks.
Please, I'm so hungry.
Dave Siebert.
Oh, Dave TV.
Michael Burns.
Michael Yogurt Burns.
Okay. And Monica.
Monica, baby girl.
What a great 2/3 of a queen month.
What a great tooth is what you said. Because you hesitated.
It's a great tooth. It is
the greatest tooth.
You have a great tooth.
Wonderful tooth.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on